reading. Just relaxing. You got all of me on my dirty top.
It's okay.
Okay, so...
Hi, friends. I'm here in the Gambia with a new friend and my friend Juliet.
No, I'm not Juliet. I'm Jadedah.
Jadedah, it's close. I'm sorry. She's from the... I'm going to let her introduce herself because she's a radio talk show host. Introduce yourself to my audience.
Greetings. I'm Auntie Jadedah. I'm here in the Gambia. I've been here for nearly 5 years. I live here in Gunjur. I have been, like she said, I've been on the radio. For those of you who listen to Amiga Radio in the UK, I'm on the Lady M show on a Wednesday, Mothering Wednesday shows in the afternoon. For those who knew me in the UK, I was in London, in West London, and I was doing a lot of healing, developmental work, helping people to find their gifts and such, and such like.
This is my second visit with her. She's a new friend, but I find her to be a phenomenal, enlightened person. And yes, it's very hot where we're at, by the way.
Yeah, we're right in the sun as well.
Yeah, when I arrived here in November, it was not this hot, but it's good. I'm still adjusting. She suggested some things that I go do. By the way, yesterday I did this really great walk where you walk up this path and they did some type of wonderful ritual blessing. It wasn't the stone circles that you recommended,
that's
or
up
the
country.
Big tree, but I was somewhere in the country. They did.
You wasn't in Gunjur?
Yeah,
You was in Gunjur?
It was like outside of Gunjur. They did this wonderful thing, and I slept so good. Rained last night.
Yeah, the rain. It rained 3 times yesterday.
Yeah, it was just such a wonderful experience.
Yesterday was a blessed day.
It was. It was January 23rd, so that was 1, 2, 3.
Yeah.
It was very, very nice.
The 23rd. It was a blessed day. It trickled 3 times. The first time that it started to rain, I was actually in my house burning incense. I was doing incense all through the house.
Oh, you have to let me have a piece.
And I was burning the house out, and the rain started to fall, and I thought, wow, what a beautiful blessing. And then my husband came home, and we was there. We had something to eat, and then we came out into the garden, into the yard, and we were doing some gardening, and the rain trickled down again. And I just thought, beautiful, because I'm now touching the earth. I'm into the earth. I'm into the soil. I'm into Mother Nature. And then later in the evening, about 9:30ish, 9 o'clock, the rain came down, and it was the heaviest it came down in the evening. But I just thought, just to finish the day, that was a beautiful blessing. And there's a new moon, there's a full moon coming at the end of this week-ish. Yeah, it should be within the next few days, because I've been seeing the waxing moon coming through every night. So, and today the sun is shining really beautifully. So that was a beautiful blessing yesterday. And also for the things that I was doing yesterday, I was on a very sort of spiritual tip yesterday. And to see the rain come and bless it all as well, it gave me assurance that what I was actually doing was correct.
I feel the same way. The energy here in the Gambia is so beautiful, and it's like no other energy. I mean, my family and friends call say, "Are you eating okay? Are you okay?" I'm eating very well. I'm eating fresh fish, fresh everything. There's no McDonald's or KFC or Burger King, Pizza Hut or Domino's, unfortunately. But I'm eating everything fresh, and I feel good. My energy levels are up. I have a bad foot, but I'm kind of staying off of that foot while it heals. But, I mean, it's just...
You should put the foot into the, go to the Holy Rocks.
I did.
Bathe your foot.
I went to the, I was with Holy Rocks yesterday.
Did you bathe your foot?
Nope, I didn't bathe my foot. I
You
just
should've.
touched the sand.
You should have.
But I'm going to do that next.
Yeah.
There's so many This is like, I mean, I've seen examples in the Bible of holy men, like the wise men in the Bible. I've seen people like that here. It is, it's kind of like a spiritual journey for those. It depends on what you're looking for out of Gambia. For me, it's been a beautiful experience on the ocean.
Well, I've been coming here for over 30 years. And Gambia was a beautiful experience for my touch here, really. I was beginning my work, well, no, I wasn't beginning my work. I've always been like this. My grandmother was somebody who, she was like a medicine woman, and people would come to her in Montserrat, where we're from, in the Caribbean, and people would come to her for whatever ailments that they had, be them spiritual or medical, and she would heal them. That's been passed on generationally through my maternal line. My grandmother on my father's side also dealt with that, but she dealt more negatively, yeah. But I do, for insight on certain things that I need to know information about, do consult with her. But my grandmother on my maternal side has always been my guide. I mean, like, when I was 3, she came to the UK and stayed with us, and she was the first person that introduced us to potions and teas and herbs. And from that, all through my life, my mother, because being brought up with that sort of mother, always, you know, she used to talk about dreams, and she used to talk about omens, and so it wasn't something that was taken away from me as a small child. And I was born with the gift of sight and knowing, so it wasn't something that was dumbed down in me. It was something that was very much encouraged and talked about a hell of a lot, because I knew about sort of things that used to happen in the islands as we grew. So it was something that was always with me. Even though I was brought up within Catholicism, it didn't.
Raised Catholic.
Yeah, Catholic. The Catholicism didn't sit well with me. I was taught by nuns all the way through private school, and it didn't sit. I used to question a lot. Even though my uncle also on my father's side was a priest, but it didn't sit. But I always wanted to do something holy. Do you understand what I mean? Or sacred.
Oh, yes.
From a child, what I wanted to do was I wanted to be a nun. Not because
I could see that. I get that feeling from you.
Yeah,
you're still kind of like living that way.
Yeah.
This place is beautiful, by the way. She doesn't allow us to really look at the place, which I don't blame her, but it's beautiful. I mean, this place is it's beautiful. Continue.
I'll come to that as well. So I wanted to be a nun, but not because I wanted to join a nunnery, more because I wanted to devote myself to a spiritual life. And at the time, all I knew was about our nunnery. Saying that, though, my father always taught us about our black history. He always made us proud of who we were. And he always made us feel as though there was nothing that we couldn't do, nothing that we couldn't accomplish. So we were brought up with a sense of self-pride, and I was encouraged with my spirituality. When I left school, I then started to look into other religions, because Catholicism wasn't doing it for me. I looked into Buddhism, you know, I looked into Hindu, and I had a beautiful Hindu friend and family that we were very, very close. And I understood then that all of these religions, the one thing that they all had in common was unconditional love, and humanity, being good to your fellow man. The rest of it was institutionalized, so I didn't want to deal with that, but I still couldn't find my right sort of like path. And then I found Rastafarianism, because I wanted something that related to myself. And that didn't actually sit with me either too well, because I didn't feel as though I was a lost soul, even from an early age like that. Then I met my husband at the age of 19, and in my 20s, my journey to Africa started. From 24, I started to come to Africa. So I had this gift. and I had this spirituality that I had, but I didn't know where it was placed. Coming to Africa, I came to Gambia first, and when I first came to Gambia, I met what's the tribe of people? They dress in white. No, they're dressed in white. Dada. They're dressed in white, and they have locks from birth. They come out of the womb with locks, and people used to call us Dada because then I had locks as well. But the problem with Gambia then was I was the only woman in the Gambia with locks, so people used to call me a man. You know, Rasta man, Rasta man, Rasta man. I used to say I'm a woman. Anyway, Dada were a group of people. They came in from Senegal, from what I remember then, and they were around Gambia, but they were a group of people that lived very much to a sacred way. They had locks, but they had nothing to do with Rasta. And that interested me then. I also went to Egypt and other places, and when I went to Egypt, I went to a place, well, first I went to Egypt and I went to Sharm el-Sheikh. And when I went to Sharm el-Sheikh, so many people kept saying, Nubian, 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 Nubian. And I, learning my history, knew that the Nubian Empire, I thought, had died out. Yeah? So I wanted to know who these Nubians that they were talking about were. So I asked somebody when I went for this beautiful massage, and I was told that all my tensions kept in my bones. Yeah? Went for this massage and I asked who these Nubians are. And the gentleman told me that they're actually still here in Egypt, but they're in Aswan. So I wanted to know, where's this Aswan? And they said it's in southern Egypt, just on top of Sudan. Mind you, saying that, going back a bit, all my young life growing up, I remember being in Oxford Street and places, and Sudanese people used to come up to me and say to me, are you Sudanese? And so I wanted to know where Aswan was. So I said, I'll make another trip back to Egypt. And I did make another trip back to Egypt, and we went straight to Sudan. And straight to Aswan. And Aswan was a beautiful place. And I learned so much there. I learned that before they became Muslim, they dealt with Osiris and Isis. And so
that mythology is just, I find it beautiful. We learn that now.
Yeah, but they also knew of the Nubians who came before Kemet, and they also came before Kemet, and they came before the ancient Egyptians. And in their museum, when you see it was them that built the pyramids and all the rest of it. So I came running back to England, and I was telling everybody, we've got to change the history books. We've got to change the history books. And then, as I said, I came to. I was coming to Africa at the same time, because I've been coming here for 30 years. And being with the family, because my husband, his mother is a Gambian and his father is a Ghanaian. So he was going to Ghana a lot and bringing a lot of that spiritual knowledge to us as well, which worked in a lot with what I was feeling in my own spirit, in my own soul. And coming to Africa in Ghana, and the old people, dear Mama Aina, God rest her soul, and Emma, God rest her soul, they would teach me. They knew about their ancestors. They knew about things that manifested from nothing. They knew about nature spirits. They knew about animal spirits. They knew about all these things. Going to Ghana in the north, where my husband came from, that opened my eyes totally, wherein I was told who I was, why I'm here, why my husband and I are here.
Oh, wow.
The fact that we've met many times before in many incarnations. Wow. And that fact that, our journey here, but that's a different thing. So I found out from a very early age as well that I was supposed to be a healer, and that I've been a healer in many incarnations, and that, I've been a healer in many incarnations, my dog. Right, and that I've come here to continue the work. I've also been told of many ways that I've died, because I came in with a lot of problems with my throat. And what I was told was that, what I've been told in the past is that in one of my incarnations, my throat got severed.
We're going to end this here, and we're going to do another part. So this is part 1, and we will have a part 2. So this is just a sneak peek into Miss Jadedah. The next part we're going to talk about a film that we're doing about the Mali Empire, and this area, this area that we're in was with the Mali Empire, and we're doing a feature film about that.
Okay.
But that's a whole nother conversation. Catch us next time. I'm Dr. Summer. This is Jadedah, and we will see you part 2, part 3, part 4. Bye for now.
Bye.